What's happening YouTube, and welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm finally back after a few days off for birthday celebrations and other stuff. But on to today's video, I'm going to be ranking every Premier League striker club by club, and the only permutations are that it's going to be the player in the forward position who's played the most games for that club. So let's get into the video. So I'll be doing the grading quite simply, and I'll be using the old school format of A-star, 2D, and then I'll put the players obviously in that. So for the first team, we're going to start at the bottom, Norwich relegated 20th, and that guy is Teemu Pukki. He played the majority of games for Norwich up front, but is it his fault that he got no service and they just lack goals completely throughout their team? But for me, Pukki started well, he faded, so he gets a C because he started okay. Alright, so 19th we had Watford and their striker and their captain, Troy Deeney. To be fair, overall I actually rate Troy Deeney. He's a proper leader, he loves to get stuck in and he can put the ball in the net, but he just didn't do it enough for Watford to stay up. He had a few decent games towards the end, most notably when he got 2 penalties against Newcastle to beat them 2-1. But other than that, Deeney had a few injury problems here and there. So I think a C's fair for Deeney because he has been good. But I'm only doing it from 1920. The rest is history. So the last relegated team we have is Bournemouth. And Bournemouth had a few strikers, Josh King. But I think Callum Wilson's been their main guy for a number of times. And he's been roaming away from the club. And he is a Premier League striker. He likes to put the ball in the back of the net. And I remember when Chelsea were linked with him as a second striker, I didn't think it was the worst idea because he is Premier League proven. And like I said, he does put the ball in the net. So I think, again, I'm going to have to give a C because they got relegated. So clearly his goals weren't enough. But that could be down to service. Next up, we have the very lucky and fortunate Villa. Because if Sheffield United's goal had stand, they would have been relegated. So that they got very lucky in that. But their strikers, they had Wesley at the start of the season, who obviously got a big injury. He did start the season alright. I remember when he scored against Everton, he got the winner that day. And he looked a good Premier League striker. But other than that, he's shocking. But their main striker has to be Samatta. Samatta played a lot since the restart. And he did look quite good in times. But did he score many goals? No, I think he got a couple goals here and there. And that's not enough. They got lucky, like I said. So Samatta, unfortunately, he has to. So for 16th position, we have West Ham. And should West Ham be there? No, they shouldn't. They're spending a lot of money on awful players. And one of them players is Haller, Sebastian Haller. He looked quality for Frankfurt. And I remember when he came to the bridge, he looked a class player and he scored against us. But Haller is shocking. You can't tell me otherwise. He started alright. I remember he got a hat-trick against Watford in one of their first games of the season, and ever since that he's been shocking. So Haller is getting he's going to be on the D list. He has to be. Shocking waste of money. 15th place we had Brighton, and Brighton striker Maupay. Maupay's a good player and I like him because he's always up for a challenge and he likes to have a bit of argy-bargy with other players, most notably Leno when he done his leg. But Maupay, good striker, scored double figures, which is a good amount for a team who finished 15th and lacked creativity. But yeah, Maupay gets a B, I think. Yeah, solid player. If he can get more goals, Brighton will go up the table even more. But they're doing enough. And for £10 million, was it a bad signing? No, not at all. So yeah, in 14th, we have Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace's main striker probably is Benteke because Ayew, who is usually a striker, has been playing on the wing with Zaha. So Benteke, don't get me started. This guy was really good at Villa. But when he's moved to Palace, he's shocking. How did Chelsea let Benteke score against us? Awful player, awful. Doesn't do anything. He's lazy and he's not good enough. So D, straight up, Benteke is rubbish. 13th is Newcastle United. And for Newcastle, they got Joelinton. Joelinton, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was their record signing. and he's shocking again. These Premier League strikers are no good. Awful player. He was their record signing. He didn't look like he was going to score. I think he got a goal against Southampton. But other than that, Joelinton, rubbish. Get Andy Carroll up front. He'll offer more. But no, Joelinton gets another D. Shocking players. Next place, we have Everton. Everton are in 12th position. That's where they finish. And Everton's main striker, it's got to be Richarlison. I love Richarlison. I think he's a brilliant player on and off the ball. He's always up for a fight. I like his story behind him. And Richarlison gets a B for me. Calvert-Lewin, I'll give him a shout out. I'll give him a B also. They work well together. And Everton have a good partnership. With Everton getting all these new signings, they could push right up the table. And you'll have to wait to see where I put them in the next season's table predictions. But yeah, Everton strikers get a B. Next place, we have Southampton in 11th. And Southampton have the standout striker for me with Vardy. But we're getting to that. But Danny Ings, brilliant England player. He'll be called up for England. And he was called up for England. He's bagged 20 odd goals this season. And he really pushed Southampton up after their 9-0 humiliation against Leicester. Danny Ings has dragged them right up the table and he's been a vital part. So Danny Ings gets an A. Danny Ings, good England player. Probably with Kane, England's second best striker for me. On to the top half of the table, and this is where the strikers should improve. We've had a few decent ones nearing the top, but in 10th we have Burnley, and Burnley have a handful of strikers. Who do I pick? I'm going to go for Chris Wood, I think. Chris Wood's been solid, even though I didn't like him because I remember when he made an awful tackle of Matic. But Chris Wood's a good player in the air, takes their penalties. Good player, C. C for Chris Wood. But he does enough for Burnley. And in 9th position, we have Sheffield United. And Sheffield United have a handful of strikers. They've got 4, in fact. And Billy Sharp could have been the guy, but he didn't play enough. Lys Mousset could have been the guy. David McGoldrick could have been the guy. But it's going to have to be Oleg McBurney, the Scotsman. Good player. Came in from Swansea. And he's a Swansea fan. I've seen them videos of him at Cardiff. Quality. I like that. But yeah, Ollie McBurney is the guy. He's going to get a C because he hasn't scored as many goals as he would have liked. But he is a good handful and he does more than goals. He offers a lot of himself to come towards the ball, to create play. And I like Sheffield United, especially Chris Wilder. If you want to see a Premier League manager grading, let me know in the comment section. I think that'd be a good video. But yeah, for me, Ollie McBurney gets a C. We'll move on to the next one. 8th position, Arsenal, who just recently won the Community Shield. And it's got to be Aubameyang. Aubameyang got the 2 goals in the FA Cup final. But let's not talk about that. But no, Aubameyang, brilliant striker. Arguably second best non-Englishman to feature. But for me, Aubameyang has to be an A-star. A-star, first one, brilliant player. Offers a lot, and I think he's going to sign a new contract, which is vital for Arsenal's chances in getting the top 4 next season. But no, Aubameyang, quality player, offers a lot, scores goals, all you need. He can play on the wing as well, but yeah, Aubameyang, A-star. In 7th position, we have Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it can only be one man. It goes by the name of Raul Jimenez. And if you know me personally, you know I love this guy. I think he's a brilliant striker and I would love to see him at Chelsea. But no, Raul Jimenez has to be an A. Brilliant. Scores loads of goals. Always links up well with Jota, Traore, Neto, all of them players. And he's a brilliant striker and he knows where the back of the net is. That is one of the best signings Wolves have made in recent times. And he is a class striker. So Raul Jimenez for me has to get an A. So moving on to number 6, and that's Tottenham. Harry Kane has to be their striker. And shout out to the Tottenham documentary, the episode 3 especially, when we beat them. That's brilliant. Yeah, so watch that if you haven't already. But yeah, Harry Kane, give him an A-star. Good player, scores lots of goals. Has been injured last season, but he did enough to get an A with all his goals. And he played a vital part in Tottenham pushing into Europe. So yeah, Harry Kane gets an A from me. So into 5th, and Leicester finished 5th, and their striker, who else? Jamie Vardy. The story, rags to riches, coming from the National League and jumping all the way to the Premier League to win the Premier League with Leicester. Brilliant. But this last season, just gone, he was Golden Boot winner, and for that reason, he has to get A-star automatically, whatever. So yeah, Jamie Vardy A-star, brilliant player. He's getting a bit older, so his pace is lacking a little bit. So he can't have that sharpness to run in behind defenders. But this guy has still scored 23 league goals, which is an incredible achievement for a guy who's 33 years of age. Signing a new contract with Leicester, which will see out his rest of his future probably. But yeah, Jamie Vardy, A-star, brilliant striker, and he'll hopefully be called back for England duty. Let's pray for the Euros, because he could play a vital part within that team. Champions League places. These are the places where you think the strikers are going to be the best in the league for obvious reasons. And you've got to go with my team, Chelsea, in 4th position. And it's got to be Tammy Abraham. But first of all, I'd like to say Olivier Giroud, world-class player. Don't at me. Brilliant player. He was vital part of the team. Lockdown, Giroud was class. But on to Tammy Abraham. He played the most games for the striker position at Chelsea. And Tammy, even though he does get stick, he got 15 league goals, I believe. So a very decent little return from the guy. He started well. He got a few injuries here and there, but yeah, Tammy Abraham gets a B for me, and I think that's fair to get 15 goals first season. In the 3rd position, Man United, and Man United's star striker this season has to be Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial has properly got his number 9 since Solskjaer has been back, but yeah, Anthony Martial gets a B from me. Good player. He's a bit creative. He likes to run in his dribbling. He's brilliant at dribbling. I'll give him that. And he can get through players quite easily. So, yeah, with that three up front, Martial gets a B. He does score a fair few goals, and that is vital for a team like Man United. But, yeah, Martial gets a B. 2nd place, Manchester City. And Manchester City striker that I'm going to go with is Sergio Aguero. Shout out to Gabriel Jesus, but in all honesty, I don't think Gabriel Jesus is that good. He's young, but let's hope that he doesn't come into his own, but City fans will hope he does. But yeah, Aguero has been brilliant for so many years. He's always scoring against Chelsea. But yeah, Sergio Aguero gets an A. And I think, honestly, if he didn't get injured, I think Man City would have done better in the Champions League. That just shows how important this guy is to Man City, yeah. But Sergio Aguero always scoring goals and creating. But yeah, A for Aguero. And the champions. Do we like saying that? Not at all. But Liverpool deserved it. And even though they don't really play with a striker, they play with a sort of false 9 centre forward. It's got to be, obviously, Firmino. Firmino, even though they won the league, didn't he score 1 goal at home all season? And of course, that was against Chelsea. But that's not good enough. For a striker, I know Mane and Salah score a lot of goals as well. But for a striker, 1 league goal at home, not good enough for me. And they got lucky, like they have Salah and Mane, because I don't think Firmino's all that. He scores away, obviously, but 1 league goal at home, I keep going back to that, because that's champions and your strikers getting 1 goal at home. That's mental stuff. But yeah, Firmino gets a B, because obviously he's still a vital part. We all know that he still plays a massive part in the way Klopp wants to play. And yeah, so Firmino gets a B. Alright, so that concludes my Premier League striker gradings for the 1920 season. Let me know where I placed your Premier League striker and whether you think that was fair or not. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and make sure you let me know in the comments what other videos you'd like to see. I think a manager one, maybe midfielders, the captains, anything like that, I'm down, because I like this sort of video. But thank you all for watching. Make sure you turn that subscriber bell on and subscribe to the channel. Let's grow. Let's get up to 100 subs before we know it. Thank you all for watching, and I'm out.